Greetings ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here, welcome back to the channel. Summer's been fun for you guys. I hope it's summer where I'm at all year round, so no complaints from me. But let's talk about the current state of MMORPG seasonal festivals. A fluff topic for sure, but I've been observing the countless festivals I've participated in over the years, from games both old and new, and have come up with a conclusion. A large majority of them are boring rehashes, and I'd like to see something more. The past week or so has been great for festival buffs since it's summer, and all proper MMORPGs would have turned on their festivals, and some even have the additional events to complement them. ESO's Mid-Year Mayhem is great for players who love PvP, while Guild Wars 2's Festival of the Four Winds is a fantastic getaway for more achievement points, rewards, challenging fights, and so on. World of Warcraft always have a bunch of events and micro-festivals going on at some point every month, on top of the current pre-patch event to keep things interesting. So where exactly does the issue of boring rehash festivals come in? We'll get to that in a second. For the benefit of new players, festivals are timed in-game events that are usually reflections of what's happening seasonally in real life. So certain games will have the usual four from spring to summer, Halloween, and winter, aka Christmas. Other games that find it difficult to integrate these due to lore reasons will still have them in some form, just named differently. And these are good things, festivals, as they offer players a break from the usual grinds of leveling and raiding and PvPing, among other things. I enjoyed these festivals back in the day, as from a new player perspective, some festivals will have their own unique quests, dailies, and fun activities based on seasons, like fishing and summer festivals. The one and only time a year you'll see me with my rod out in public. They're also great for getting brand new cosmetics and mounts, should the developers feel inspired enough to work on designing new rewards. Now again, while it's all great for players new to a certain game, for folks like me that have seen and done it all in the games I play over the years, it's becoming boring and tiresome to see the same festivals being rehashed each year, with little or no change to what it offers both in terms of activity and rewards. There's also a simple solution for folks like me, which is if I don't feel like doing them anymore, well, don't do it, right? Of course, but I'm also here to point out that rehashing seasonal festivals as a way to give players something to do during dry content periods that some games have started doing, like encore festivals, are bullshit, and players should see this sort of tactic for what it is. Dear developers, I'm calling you out. Start getting creative with what you can and should add to your games when it comes to festival and events, either as filler content or for actual commemorative reasons. It's the latter point that I actually have a few ideas that I'd love to see implemented in MMORPGs beyond just let's celebrate winter for 2 weeks. Commemorative events or festivals, I think, has the potential to get players more invested in their game worlds and the journeys that their characters have been through. And I'll give you guys some examples from the games I play, and you can try and relate them to what you're playing to see if the idea can catch on. Starting with Guild Wars 2, anyone who finished the vanilla personal story, the first 2 seasons of the Living World story, and the Heart of Thorns expansion will probably know who Traherne is. Pact Marshal Traherne played a big role in the shaping of Guild Wars 2 story, and as players, we work closely with the Marshal to take down Tyria's biggest baddies. Without spoiling anything for new players, Traherne becomes a hero and gets a commemorative statue. This on its own is great, but how can we make commemorative stuff like this better, to feel like a micro-celebration festival of his deeds? I'd spice things up by making players who visit the statue receive a buff of some kind. Maybe a combat buff or a karma boost for players for the next 12 hours in Dragon's Stand maybe. Not too long, not too short either, so stuff like this won't make players feel like they need this to progress or play the content. It is a small reward to remember the deeds of an ally that helped you achieve and get to where you are today in game. And it doesn't have to be all about cosmetics, although I suspect many would want that also. See what I'm getting at? The focus of commemorative festivals like these should be on you, the player, to remember the events that you've participated in and how you've helped shape a game world over the course of years, in addition to the usual seasonal festivals. Things like these aren't a replacement for established game festivals, but a supplement, and more importantly, they mean something to you, the player. Even better yet, if a festival originates from the game's main narrative, That would be sweet. Like Guild Wars 2's Festival of the Four Winds, it was part of the Living World Season 2 story as the first chapter, and it went away for 4 years, finally returning this year, so it's become a standalone festival for commemorative reasons now, as players will remember the events of Season 2 leading up to the Heart of Thorns expansion. There's a ton of examples one could use based on the concept above. World of Warcraft has 14 years of storytelling, and any significant moment that has impacted a faction or both factions heavily can be used as a commemorative festival, especially now in current WoW when things are heating up in their narrative. But World of Warcraft does do this often, changing the game world visually to reflect in-game events like Cataclysm and now Teldrassil. So there will always be a visual memory of what's taken place in-game, which not a lot of MMOs out there do. ESO gets it, and in the Elder Scrolls Online, recent events and festivals like the 10 million story dungeon event and the Orsinium DLC anniversary are commemorative events that celebrates you by offering you buffs and bonuses, and in Orsinium's case, for helping King Kurog rebuild the Great Orc City in the past. You're not celebrating something by having to work for something. The game is celebrating you for what you've worked on in the past. I really like that, and if more games can weave in a little bit of commemorative festivals that mean something to the player for how the game world has changed based on our actions, time, and dedication, that would be really cool. So in short, I think MMORPGs, where possible, should add more commemorative events and festivals that celebrates the players' deeds in their game worlds, as they would mean something to players who've dedicated hours of their lives living in a game story. It doesn't have to be much because development time is money and money should be spent on core content, but something tiny is better than nothing. It's fluffy fluff, but it's good fluff to break the monotony of the usual seasonal fluff that I'm getting really tired of seeing. That's what I wanted to share with you folks in this video, so feel free to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. What events or characters on the games you play would you like to see commemorated with a festival? Is this something you'd like to see, or you don't care about festivals, or you're happy with the same old fluff? Let me know, and let's have a good discussion. Hit the like button for more MMORPG stuff, and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more MMO content. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you for watching. Two flies are on a piece of shit. One of them farts and the other one says, "Hey, I'm eating here. Help me get out of this prison where I have to tell lame jokes forever by hitting the subscribe button."